Ken fam, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be diving in on one of my favorite topics, something we've been talking a lot about here on the Travs Dabs channel, as well as over on Get to the Joint Man. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about rosin. Before we get started on that, make sure you go down below, hit that like button, make sure you comment your favorite type of rosin, and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on everything Travs Dabs, man. So today we're not going to be smoking any rosin, not going to be taking any dabs or nothing like that. I want to dive in a little bit about Maryland's rosin scene and the explosion that has really come recently, man. It's got me super excited. I'm very happy to, as a dabber, see so many more companies producing good concentrates, specifically great rosin. And I'm so excited to see more people embracing trying them out, whether they be, longtime dabbers that have been big old shatter fans for a long time, or they have a favorite sugar in the industry, or maybe they're a big butter, batter fan, whatever it may be. A lot of people in Maryland are giving rosin a go. And I do think it's starting to become more of a nationwide thing too, but being a Marylander, seeing the direct impact, seeing people, what they're consuming, talking to all the people around in all the different dispensaries, I really want to hone in and talk about Maryland, man, because I go to a couple different dispensaries around the area. I go to Relief, I go to Storehouse, been to the Living Room many a time. I've been to Maggie's Liberty, I'm sorry, many a time. New, all these changes occurring in the industry. Been to a lot of different dispensaries. And of course, I focus on a few, man. But it's been really interesting to see the growth in rosin selection at the dispensaries. And again, to see the growth in companies that are producing rosin. I mean, originally, what was it, Evermore, right, was really the first one to drop rosin in the Maryland market. Price was a little high at the time, but it has since come down pretty accordingly, and I would say is relatively appropriate for what you typically see for Maryland concentrates. Still high overall nationally, I think, but for some good quality concentrate, it's not bad compared to, I've seen far worse, that's for sure. I mean, you're looking at like $60 a gram around that mark. But since then, we've seen a lot of companies really enter the game with rosin specifically. Again, not hash, not talking about hash, talking about specific rosin. It's solventless press, whether it be, but I like the bubble press, but whether it be flour rosin, bubble hash rosin, or whatnot, it's just good to see solventless in the market. Now we've got out there Eden, which is really killing the game. They definitely have one of the smaller operations, which I believe yields typically a slightly higher price. But again, I'm seeing that tick down slowly month after month. I'm seeing that drop. Came in at 90, seeing it down to 80, now seeing it towards 70 for a couple of the strains. So I'm thinking it's going to start getting to matching that point. One that's kind of constantly on my table we talk about is Beazle a lot. They are a concentrate specific company, one that's pretty national, out in Cali, I think out in, I want to say Colorado, don't quote me on that, but definitely all the way out in Cali. Big dogs in the concentrate game. So they should be killing it on the, I definitely have higher expectations for them, and they are. Dabbing on their rosin a lot lately. I think that's when I'm seeing a lot of market, data, so to speak, aka Instagram posts and stories showing me a lot of people are dabbing on some good Beazle rosin. They got new runs coming out. There's been new drops coming out, but we also have other companies that are working on that on the horizon too, from I think what I understand. I think we're going to have some Kind Tree coming down soon. Wouldn't be surprised if we get some Nature's Heritage back again. Yeah, like it would be, I'm ready to see more companies open themselves up to that game. The big driver force, of course, with rosin and with concentrates in general is your boy Jolly Roger from Puffco. He talks about it. He's definitely the most vocal, largest personality that talks about rosin. And I think that's also starting to have a huge positive impact. Now, we can talk about it down out here all the time, but it's good to see a national figure kind of bring it to light, show people what the options are out there, show people that it is not a far-reaching fantasy. It is not a super expensive bougie item. And I'd also say, and this is something that held me off originally too, I think hash/rosin folk have become a little more open to the masses. When I first started diving deeper into the concentrate game, when I started looking towards rosin, the prices definitely warded me off, but it also seemed pretty bougie and hoity-toity and kind of holier than thou. So I didn't really vibe with it. It wasn't something I really was like, okay, you guys kind of sitting on a pedestal over there. Since trying it, since diving in on the cleaner version and accepting that maybe it's the people that are warding you off, but maybe you should still try to embrace that item or that product. I've come around, clearly. I try to be as solventless as possible. Still get me some resins here and there, especially when there's baller jars available. Big shout out to eighths of concentrate here in the state, because not much of that. What we need to get is some eighths of rosin. That'll make your boy really happy. It's becoming a more and more talked about thing. I mean, we got people like Icy Smokes making content about it. You got people like Canna Quest making content about it. Morgan Press in some of it. Tons of people around the state really embracing the solventless game. And it's exciting. I think Maryland's got this rosin revolution going on that has been brewing for a little bit, and it was something that I've been keen for a little while now. Again, I think I'm the big advocate of I'd love to see all concentrates be solventless in the future. I know that's a pretty far-reaching goal, but it's something I think for the betterment of the consumption, for the betterment of dabbers out there, I yearn for a world where we're just slapping on some big fat globs of rosin fresh off the presses. Well, okay, let it cure a little bit, but you know what I mean, man. It's the way to go. No more solvents, no more left behind little trace elements. I'm tired of it. Ready to move on, man. I dig that Maryland is really rocking with that, and I hope more people do too. Especially with the ability for people to consume differently. Again, we talked about this plenty of times when we get to the joint show, man. We don't got to do no more, dome and nails. These aren't titanium bangers at 750, 800, 900 degrees. This is the Carta Focus V2 coming in at a gorgeous 475 degrees with an LED screen and a timer. You know what I mean? Everything is tuned in beautifully. Like you have such ultimate control over your consumption. It's really no excuses anymore. You know what I mean? You can get full terpene expression, smacked, big clouds. Puffco got their fancy ass stuff. It's like the Apple of cannabis products. I mean, you can do whatever your heart desires, man. There's so many options, so much available for people to give a go to. We've moved on from the Stone Ages where I absolutely can. I remember me sitting in my big fat stoner chair with my big blue propane tank that's for welding, but I'm using it to take big fat dabs. Heating up big bangers, dropping in fat globs, dabbing 2-3 grams a day. That isn't where everybody needs to be. Nowadays, let's go a little cleaner, get a little more refined. People are able to hone in, really get more of what they need out of their concentrate game, man. And I'm happy about it. Yeah, I just wanted to hop on here, talk a little bit about rosin here in Maryland, and talk to the Canna fam and see what you guys think too. Let me know down below what your favorite rosin is, man. What brands have you really been digging? Has there been anything of substance that has really shocked you or made you like kind of gas? I'm pretty much dabbing nothing but Beazle at this point. I mean, there was a stint where I was dabbing on G-Leaf for a little while, but I've been off of them for a hot second. They do still have their rosin lineup now that I think about it. And a few other companies, again, still coming down the pipeline. But I'm curious what the Canna fam, let me know down below. What are you slapping on in your rig, man? Otherwise, Canna fam, appreciate you being here till the very end. You know how the drill goes. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, the notification bell so you can stay up to date on everything Travs Dabs. Head over to the other channel, hit that subscribe button, and we'll get to the joint. And I'll catch you in the next episode of Travs Dabs. Canna fam, appreciate you being here. See you soon. Peace.